Eden's forbidden fruit. It's our righteous right to bite the beautiful fruit. To reach for human beauty is not a betrayal, it's the embodiment of matter's expansion. The ripened glow, the beacon of attraction, is not sin when approached in remembrance. To bite is not to fall, it's to accept the invitation into becoming. In its sweetness lives the call to awaken. The fruit is the mirror of knowledge and growth in our human experience. Only eyes of shame turned humanity into exile. Eden's incarnative experience in the realms of matter allows us the joy of nourishing the self of expansion in the beauty and attractiveness of ripened fruit. Desire is not departure, but depth, a chance to meet ourselves through what draws us. The fruit calls not to shame, but to savor. In Eden's earth, everything speaks the language of the senses, where each thing is given to reflect our divinity through perception. It is not a sin if all is given of a divine open heart. Sins are semantics of perishable timeline exchanges. They are paintings that evoke interpretation that is never fixed, shifting meaning in the eyes of the receiver. All acts born of presence cannot be cast in guilt. Where one sees trespass, another sees trust. The heart that offers from its fullness knows no wrongdoing, only movement. The fruit of intention is shaped by the law of reality with the soul's sincerity. If all is in realms of matter under the divine design, then all is to nurture us and not hinder, to cherish abundance in our choice, in mature consciousness. We're not here to refuse the garden, but to walk it awake in awareness. Matter is not the fall, it is the field. We are the sower, and the seed is joy. When choice is rooted in wisdom, even indulgence becomes an offering. All is given to express the joy of life. None is temptation if it does not control you in advance of joy. Birth joy to expand in consciousness. Temptation is not in the object, but in the grip that precedes it, in the fear within ourselves. When joy is met without clinging, it becomes an expression, not escape. Joy does not bind, it opens. We're not here to resist life, but to meet it with clarity, to dance in joy's pulse without becoming its servant. Fulfillment of lacking external upbringing is a self-fulfillment of lacking internal upbringing. What the world withheld becomes the echo we chase, but the true nourishment begins within. We cannot mend the outer absence without tending the inner soil. Wholeness is not found in replacing what was lost, but in becoming what was missing. The fruit outside holds no sweetness when the roots within are dry. Healing is not in the having, but in the growing. Biting the fruit of attachment to the action is the way to cast the self out of reality. Not the act itself, but the need to define, to possess, to become through the doing. That's the exile. When we cling to action as identity, we leave the present and enter an illusion. Reality is not in what we do, but in how we are within it. The fruit is not forbidden, but lost in the grasp. Presence lets it ripen. Attachment devours it. When we bite with grasping, we forget the grace of tasting. The harvest hand must be of a greater good, which will uplift the greater self. To harvest is not to hoard, but to raise. To touch life with purpose, to receive with reverence, is to transform desire into devotion. The hand that gathers with reverence feeds more than what we reach. It feeds the soul's becoming. In each choice, we plant the shape of who we are becoming. Let the harvest be holy, the fruit shared, the self uplifted in its giving.